basically I have technique broken down into 4 categories. 1 is scalar or linear examples, 2 is arpeggiated examples, 3 is left hand or legato playing, and 4 is sweep picking. And what I do is I have files in a file cabinet, and I collect information from videos and books and lessons and whatever, and I file them according to topic. If it's an arpeggio thing that I learned from a magazine, I rip it out and stick it into the arpeggio section. And then when it comes time to practice, instead of saying, oh, there's millions of things, how am I going to practice all this stuff? Basically, I make a master list of what's in all those files, and that list changes from day to day. You constantly add to it. And you sit down and you basically customize a practice session. So let's say you have about 2 hours to practice. I personally have 4 categories, so I'd pick one item from each one of those categories and practice that item for a half hour. Move on to the next, practice that for a half hour. And then by the time I'm done after 2 hours, I've covered the entire topic of technique. Okay, now that we concentrated on the left hand and the right hand individually, let me show you a few exercises that are equally effective for both hands. Okay, this exercise starts with your first finger on the low E string on the first fret in the first position. Skips over the A string, goes with your second finger on the D string on the note E, and then your third finger on the G string on the note B flat, and your fourth finger on the high E string on the note A flat. And your right hand is picking, once again, down, up, down, up. Now the next step is to simply flip your hand, sort of like a mirror image. So your first finger is now on the high E, and your fourth finger is on the low E, and start from the high E and go down to low E with the picking, down, up, down, up. And combine the two. What I did after that is I ascended chromatically, and you should take this all the way up to the 12th fret, and then descend using a similar but slightly different pattern. Here's how it goes. Okay, all I did there is instead of starting on the first finger and ascending 1, 2, 3, 4, we started on the pinky on the high E and descended 4, 3, 2, 1. Once again picking alternately, and then we reversed that image like a mirror and started on the fourth finger once again on the low E. Alright, since this exercise involves alternate picking through string skips, make sure that your right hand picking is very accurate and that you keep your pick close to the strings so you don't hit the string that you're actually skipping. It's called efficiency of motion. Now, you should also practice the same exact exercise starting on an upstroke as well to make sure that you're ambidextrous. No. That was a slight variation on the exercise that we just did. Instead of playing the notes in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm playing 1, 3, 4, 2, 1, 3, 4, 2. And the notes and skips are exactly the same. Make sure you keep the picking alternate. Let me show you now the descending version. Alright, that was another slight variation, this time on the descending pattern. Instead of playing 4-3-2-1, you play 4-2-1-3, 4-2-1-3, and continue that pattern down the neck chromatically. Remember to keep your picking alternate the entire time. And that will wrap up our warm-up exercises. I usually play these type of exercises for, I guess, about 10 to 20 minutes before actually tackling some more difficult practicing or a gig or whatever. And it usually helps to get both hands acclimated to the guitar, especially when you're cold. So have fun and make sure you warm up.